Welcome to the S.I.M.P podcast. Simply, I make plays. Episode 4. With co-hosts Coach Wells, Will Sane, Rique, and yours truly, Kevin L. Warren, as the moderator for tonight. Tonight, we're calling the shots on the topic that hits the field every game. Referees, whether it's in football, basketball, or beyond. Referees have been under fire for years, facing criticisms on missed calls and even allegations of gambling on games. But how much power do they really have over the outcomes when they're supposed to be authority on the field? Let's break it down, discuss it, and what's the impact on the game, referees in college and in high school. Then we'll go to the college football playoffs, which we'll talk about first, and we'll keep a close eye on the Heisman Watch, who's in the running to take home the biggest prize in college football. Then we're back on the ref talk, looking at officiating in high school and college football and the challenges there which referees face. Joining us is our special guest tonight will be Michael Duncan, a seasoned basketball referee from the GSHA, Alabama's finest, going into his 5th year, and a retired Army First Sergeant with 20 years of service. Mr. Duncan, thank you for your service. And finally, we will wrap up with the look at the top 25 high school football teams in the land and what makes them contenders for this season. Let's dive in. No holding back, no fluff, just real talk on the game as we do here on the S.I.M.P podcast. Without further ado, let's meet the crew. We got Coach Wells. Wells, what's going on tonight, sir? How you doing tonight, bro?
Hey, I'm great. Awesome. Feeling good. Ready to get this conversation going. Should be interesting tonight.
Gotcha. And we got Brother Rique. What's going on, man? How are you?
Man, I'm cool in the game, man. What's good with my good brothers? Glad to be here. Glad to be back on here. It's been a long time. Seems like it's been ever. But let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. Last but not least, my hero, as I call him, Brother Will. Brother Will Sane, what's up, brother? How are you tonight?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Will's all right, man. Will's all right. We'll try to make it do what it do, man. So, like I said, I got the order mixed up a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to talk about college football's playoff bracket, which will come out next Tuesday, election night. They have made any, but a couple of periodicals. They have some prediction that's going out. We'll just go from Yahoo Sports, Mr. Nick Bromberg. And remember, anything that we say on the show, the link will be in the description of the show so you can read for yourself. So Mr. Nick Bromberg, he has Oregon listed as 1, Georgia as 2, Miami as 3, BYU is 4, and then he has Boise State at number 5, Penn State, and then he has number 11, Clemson at the Ohio State, number 10, Texas A&M versus Texas, who's the at-large bid, both teams. Then you have number 9, Notre Dame at Tennessee. And like I said, this is not the official college football playoff bracket, because like I said earlier, they will be announcing that college football, the NCAA will be announcing this next Tuesday. I'll pass it around the panel. I'll go with Coach Wells. What do you think of this order here? What's your spin on it? We'll go to you.
I think it's. I don't see Oregon being number 1 by the time you finish the season. I think Georgia.
I think we said it after this week, man. They might be done.
So yeah. I think when the actual playoffs roll around and you got your top 12, I think Georgia will actually slide into that 1 spot if Oregon can win out. If Oregon win out, they'll be number 1. But I think new conference for Oregon. Georgia plays a tougher schedule, and I just can't see. Nobody topping Georgia right now. So I think it'll be Georgia, Oregon, Oregon. I want to go Miami. Now, I say Miami. Right now, that's what it looks like. Miami, if they beat Clemson when it comes to the ACC championship. But in the ACC, I wouldn't sleep on SMU because they're playing good basketball right now.
Football.
But
Football.
good football right now. You know, I'm
Ball.
still, you know, I'm in the gym every night with basketball. So, but I think SMU is one of those scary teams in the ACC that can knock either Miami or Clemson off if push comes to shove. See, I know Will thought I was gonna put Clemson. You know, he thought I was gonna ride with my boys, but I see we still got a little bit more work to do. But if we can win out,
And
we'll be four.
And those that don't know Coach Wells, and a lot of people do, he's a Clemson apologist. That's all I got to say. Brother Rique is shaking his head. But listen, I'll say this. I'll step in. I'll say Clemson has been playing very good ball of late, right? Since they took that L, they've been playing well. They've been quiet, been doing their thing. So SMU has been playing well too. So you saying that you have SMU beating Miami in some kind of playoff thing? That's what you're saying? Let me just.
If SMU can win out, now that would mean that either Miami or Clemson would have to take a stumble. The only team that can steer either one of those teams from getting to the ACC championship is Pitt, and Pitt is ranked number 20, 23 something right now, 18 something like that. 18. So Pitt is number 18. So Pitt being that team that's on all three of those teams' schedule because they don't play each other makes it interesting down the stretch because they all got to play Pitt.
Yeah, because y'all got Pitt on the 16th.
16th, yeah.
Yeah.
So Miami schedule is they got Duke this weekend in South Florida. They go to Georgia Tech week after next. They host Wake Forest down in South Florida, and then they travel up to Syracuse, where Syracuse took a beat down from Pitt last Thursday. I didn't see that coming because Syracuse has been playing well this year. So
the team that's, as far as Miami's schedule, the team that I think will give Miami a scare is Georgia Tech. People may say, but Georgia Tech could possibly give Miami a scare.
Well, they beat them last year because of the coach with his shenanigans.
Right.
And hopefully he's learning.
Georgia Tech
yes.
Georgia Tech is an improved team. They got some ways to go. I don't see Miami lose the ACC championship game. I don't see
So Clemson the only team that can beat Miami in the ACC. So
I don't even know if Clemson can do it. But
so it'll be Clemson at 4. So we go Clemson with 4.
I told you he was a Clemson apologist.
I mean, they have improved.
I gave it to him. I said Clemson has absolutely improved since the beginning of the season. I got to give, Clemson fans, don't get mad at me. Don't dabble on me. I just Yankee talking about Clemson, man. Yo, bro, I call it like I see it, man. So, Brother Will, what you got for us as far as this list? What do you think?
I'm going to look at – I'm just going to go for the top 4 because that's what I'm looking at. Who I think will end up in the top 4, meaning who's going to win their conference. I think it's going to be Oregon. I think Oregon's going to win out, and I think Oregon's going to be number 1 because I can't see Georgia, who I'm going to have number 2, winning the SEC. I can't see Georgia leapfrogging Oregon, undefeated Oregon, and Georgia took that L against Alabama, so I can't see Georgia leapfrogging Oregon.
Should have been some Florida State fans listening to you right now.
I believe Miami is going to win out. The interesting thing about the ACC, and I should have left the ACC for last. But the interesting thing about the ACC is that I wonder how are they going to determine who plays in their championship if if
That's a good thought.
Miami is undefeated in the ACC because Clemson and Miami don't play each other, and SMU don't play. None of those three teams, Clemson, Miami, nor SMU, play each other. So if all three of those teams end up undefeated in the ACC, then what's going to be the determining factor as to who plays for the ACC championship? Is it going to be Clemson is left out because Clemson has that one loss on their record against Georgia? Because I can see all three of those teams winning out.
So
But
with that said, I did a little quick detective work here. The Atlantic Coast Conference football champion is determined by the two teams with the highest winning percentage in regular season conference play. The team plays. The teams play each other in the championship game. The ACC eliminated its divisions for the 2023 season and onwards, opting for a 3-5-5 scheduling format. That means the two division winners no longer determine the ACC championship. So those that remember, I remember. Yep, they had the division, they got rid of them, and now they just going to go strictly off of winning percentage. In regular season conference play. So I don't
And
answer.
that's why I say that's going to be problematic because if all three of those teams win out in the ACC because they don't, and I'm going to divert for a minute. This is why I think it was a problem when they came up with this. There's no longer going to be divisions because when you no longer have divisions, you're going to have opportunities where more than two teams are undefeated in that conference. And so if you have those three teams undefeated in that conference, Clemson is going to be Florida State. Clemson is going to say, well, hey, we were ranked higher than SMU all year long. We have an undefeated record in the ACC. However, I'm thinking, and this is just me thinking, is that it's going to come down to, well, Clemson does have one loss, even though it's out of conference. If SMU is undefeated in conference and out of conference, and Miami is undefeated in conference and out of conference, then what's the argument that Clemson is going to have to where they could play in the ACC championship?
Well, I'm looking right now. Miami is 8-0 in the conference. Well, no, this is no overall conference play. They're
Yeah,
4.
they're 8-0 overall.
Yeah, they're 5. They're Clemson's 5-0 in the conference. Miami's 4-0 in the conference. SMU is 4-0 in the conference. Pitt is 3-0 in the conference.
Yeah, because
yeah,
SMU loss was the BYU. Yeah.
yeah.
So-
But Clemson loss was to Georgia. So do you go by strength of schedule?
So you still, because you still is at ain't nobody lost in conference.
No, nobody lost in conference. So you still, yeah. So ACC could possibly have three teams in the playoff.
Yeah, three teams in the conference championship. I'm talking about the conference championship.
So with that,
Yes,
that means a conference, maybe a conference with somebody may be left out, like Florida State was last year. So somebody could possibly left out. I mean, but it is what it is.
But what I'm mainly focusing on right now is who is the front runner. Who are the front runners for the conference championship for the ACC? If the determining factor for you to play in that conference championship is your conference record,
Right?
And if all of these teams, now Pitt would not be if Pitt loses out, two of these teams have to play Pitt, correct?
Yeah, two of them.
Miami, I know.
Miami already beat
SMU has to play Pitt,
and Clemson got to play Pitt.
and Clemson has to play Pitt.
SMU plays them on the 2nd, and Clemson play them on the 16th.
Okay, so let's just say for sake of argument, both teams beat Pitt. Clemson beats Pitt, SMU beats Pitt. Those two teams, along with Miami, win out in the conference. It's going to be chaos when it comes
Yes,
to who should play for your conference championship. Not go who should go into the playoffs, but who
Right.
should play for your conference championship is going to be a big
absolutely.
argument.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's got to get left out. One of those three teams will have to get left out.
Mm.
And in the Big 12, my shocker is going to be Colorado. I know I'm not the biggest Coach Sanders
You're not.
uh,
You're not.
advocate, but however, I have to say I am impressed by the bravado, which now is actually being not just in the locker room or on the sidelines, but it's actually starting to show a little bit on the field. So I think those boys are starting to build up a little confidence now. They're building up a little cohesiveness,
To go
and
along
they're
with the
starting to
swagger.
gel now.
And they're playing, and it just I think, and I'm like you, Will. I absolutely have been Colorado's biggest critic, one of their biggest critics, because of all that was going on last year. I did all that, and you only got 4 wins, right?
Yeah.
Yo, just concentrate on the football stuff. All that other stuff was going on. I think they made some great additions through the portal. They added a couple coaches. You know, Warren Sapp is on the squad now. So I think they're just concentrating on football, and other nonsense and noise is what it is. They blocked it out and they just really concentrate and honing in on what they do best, and they're really doing it well, man. You know what I'm saying? Their 2 losses was against tough teams, against Nebraska, and what was the other one? Was it
Kansas
K-State?
State.
Kansas State. So, shout out to them. Shout out to you. You heard me. I said it. Shout out to the Buffs and Coach
I
Prime.
mean,
Go ahead.
I'm looking at their schedule. They got Tennessee Tech, Utah,
That's the one.
Kansas, and Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State has been disappointing this year. My only thing is,
Oklahoma State.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kansas is the only team I see that could possibly
tripped them up.
trip. Yeah. Yeah. But they got 2 losses already, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're all eligible. Yep. So, definitely got that.
Okay.
Let me ask you this before we transition again. Who's your hopes for the Heisman? I'll start off with Brother Rique. Who you got? And I'll give you mine here afterwards.
Hey, I'm heading back to Colorado. Travis Hunter, man. That kid, man. We haven't seen it in a long time. And he balls on both sides. He don't take plays off, and he don't take plays off on the field also. Right now, for me, it's Travis. Now, I do like the running back out of Boise, but for me right now, it's Travis. Yeah.
Got you. I was going to say earlier in the year, I was going to say Cam Ward. Cam Ward has been balling out of control for the U, for Miami. I think he's still in the conversation, but if I was to make a decision on that, I'm with Rique. I think Travis Hunter, he's a special player. I don't like him playing all those minutes on both sides. I wish they would just pick a side, but that's up for the coach. But but I think he's an awesome player. He's a great player, generational player, and he'll be great on the next level. But like you said, I said Cam Ward, man in Boise State. I think that's the tops. What you got for us, Wells?
I love Travis. I love Travis. Like you say, he's one of those special talents that, whether it's on the offensive defense side, he gonna make plays. But I will go to Ashton Genty. And not to take nothing away from Cam Ward or Travis Hunter, but to be a running back, and yeah, I heard the back and forth, but to be a running back, right? And in 8 games, we talking about Ashton Genty almost got over 1,400 yards on the season with 5 to 6 games left to play. So we're looking at this kid possibly rushing for clear over 2,300 yards. The last running back to even amass 2,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken, was Barry Sanders.
I think so.
No.
Well, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
That's why I say, if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was Barry Sanders rushed for what? Because I know it's something into the.
You said 2,000 yards, right?
Right. Well, I know, 2,000 yards, but he's trying to eclipse what Barry Sanders amassed.
Rashad Penny.
Okay, Rashad Penny. Okay,
But he's
trying to amass what Barry Sanders did was what 2,300 yards. If he rushed for over 2,300 yards, hands down, I mean, Ashley Jensen. He has what 1,390 something yards, 18 touchdowns already, with 6 games left. How is anybody going to deny that? The toughest defense he just played against. He just played against who they played against this past weekend. That was the toughest defense that he was going to face all year. So my choice is Ashton Jensen.
Okay. Brother Rique, who you got?
Rique.
Will. Yeah. I told Travis about that.
Yeah. That's okay, Kev. I got to piggyback off of Rique because I got to go with Travis, and I know a lot of people call me a homer because Travis is from Georgia. I'm from Georgia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But here's the thing about the Heisman, and no offense to Jim, no offense to him. But how many snaps has he taken? How many snaps has he played this year? He's played one position. How many snaps?
Right.
Travis Hunter has played like over 600 snaps this year on both sides of the ball. He's elite on both sides of the ball. And the reason why I'm saying that is to bring up a point. The Heisman is not who's the best running back. The Heisman is not who scores the most touchdowns. The Heisman is not who's the best quarterback. The Heisman is supposed to be who's the best football player. And when you tell me that one person is elite on both sides of the ball, wherever you put him on that field, he's elite, then that's the best football player and the person who's most deserving of the Heisman. I think we've gotten to a point to where we only want to give the Heisman to quarterbacks and running backs now, which isn't fair. You know, the last person to be the dual threat person, not the dual threat, but the two-way player, a two-side of the field player was Charles Woodson.
Right.
We have not seen anybody like Woodson until we see Travis Hunter, who I'll say is better than Woodson. So you got to give it to a once, and I don't know how many decades or decades to come afterwards player. I don't know when the next time you're going to see someone who has the work ethic, dedication, conditioning, athleticism, elite ability to play wide receiver at elite level and also play cornerback at an elite level.
Right.
So I got to give it to Travis.
Yeah, he got 60 catches for 757 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Correct.
And like I said, they got 4 more games. And man, this kid, man,
I take nothing away from him. I take nothing away from him.
It's to the point where they don't even want to throw on his side of the field. Right. He's shutting down his whole side of the field. They don't even want to throw on him.
Nope.
So when you're that person and you're that elite, I got to give it to him. And I'm not sure that they're going to give it to him. I really don't think that they're going to give it to him because I think they are in a position where it has to be a running back or quarterback.
Right, right.
And some of it may be even hatred toward Dion.
But,
I'll even say it. Some of
Well,
it may be hatred
it could
toward.
be. But I'm
that's
gonna throw something in.
that's why I was getting Will. Just I'll get you next. Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. A lot of that will probably be some shade towards the Buffaloes and what they got going on, and they're not. It's I hate to say it, the people that are writers and journalists that have these positions of like for MVPs and other sports and things of that nature, they absolutely take out their personal account and they're not objective and they can't take out the personal feeling with what's on the field. You know what I'm saying? And I'll stand by that. We're not the moral police. So what the athlete does on the field, off the field, I'm just only concerned what he does on the field.
Right.
It's just saying, on
But
a professional level.
so
But on the SIP podcast, you need to have a high GPA. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So let's go back to you brought up Charles Woodson. What was Michigan's record that year?
I guess
Now
you
you're
know.
making it
When Charles Woodson won the Heisman, what was Michigan's record?
They was undefeated. I don't know.
Michigan was undefeated, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking they was undefeated and won.
They was undefeated, right? So in when choosing the Heisman, even though we know that we don't know all the ins and outs of choosing the Heisman because sometimes it changes every year. How many games Colorado lost? Not saying it's to him, right? But they do look at records. So if they're gonna go off records and what, even though the Heisman should be what a player does on the field, off the field, they're gonna throw the records in there. So you may see Cam Ward if Miami goes on the field. You may see Ashton Genty if Boise State went out. Remember, he rushed for over 200 plus 230 yards against Oregon, the number one team in the country.
They ain't got no defense.
Who, Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have a defense, but they shut down Ohio State, right?
Who?
I'm just saying.
I mean, I definitely understand that they like to give it to, but like what Will said is where I get it. Who is the best player?
Right.
Not who is not who's the best player on the best team. That's not what the bylaws say for the award. It's supposed to be who's the best player this season. And to me,
I think they need to come up with a solid criteria for who wins the Heisman because it changes. I mean, Woodson won it over Peyton, right?
Yes, I do know that.
Okay. That's all.
He deserved it though. He deserved it because he was the best.
Peyton didn't go undefeated either. I'm just saying.
I'll read this real quick, and this is from the Heisman's website. The Heisman Trophy is awarded to the most outstanding college football player in the United States based on the following criteria: academic eligibility. We understand that. The players' performance must demonstrate great ability combined with hard work, diligence, and perseverance. The Heisman Trophy is awarded annually by the Heisman Trophy Trust in early December, usually the first Saturday in December. The winner is selected by the vote of sports journalists, former Heisman Trophy winners, and fans. I did not know fans can do that. The voting process is as follows. Voters, there's 870 sports journalists, 57 living former Heisman Trophy winners, and one selected fan vote. The ballot, voters select 3 players in order, which is first place worth 3 points, second place worth 2 points, and third place worth 1 point. Winner, the player with the most points across all ballots, wins the Heisman Trophy. I want to know how you get the fan cake. It's crazy.
In awards like that, leave the fans out of it. Because if Club Nick was in it, I was gonna vote for Club Nick if I was the selected fan. I'm just telling y'all, right?
We know.
I'm gonna vote for Club Nick. I'm just telling.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Are we ready for our guests?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Wells, I'll let you take it away. Introduce our guests. Go ahead, bro.
We got two of Savannah's finest referees, Marcus Fowler and Michael Duncan. I gave you their bios. So I speak on Marcus. Speak on Marcus for you. You can introduce Michael.
Okay. I got you. So for Mr. Duncan, we got here. Mr. Michael Duncan, a seasoned basketball referee from the GSHA, Alabama's finest, going into his fifth year of refereeing, and a retired Army First Sergeant with 20 years of service. We introduced, if he's Mr. Mike Duncan. Let me give him some applause here. Let me give him some applause.
That's right. Roll Tide.
Let me give him some applause. Well, I was trying to give you some applause.
You can cancel his applause.
Yeah, I see all them Georgia boys in there. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Duncan, nice, sir. How are you tonight?
Go dog.
Go ahead, Coach. Who else you got here?
All right, we got Mr. Marcus Fowler, born in Queens, New York.
Shout out to my Queens people. I'm a Brooklyn guy. What's up, Mr. Sir?
What's going on?
Raised in Savannah, Georgia. Graduated from Beach High School, attended Tallahassee Community College, where he played one season of basketball as a walk-on. Military vet, the referee in 7 years basketball, 6 years of football under Georgia High School.
Well, thank you, sir, for your service. Let me give you some applause, too. No, that was a whistle. No. We were trying to catcall you here.
Whistling at him.
I hit the wrong button.
That's some of that New York-ish.
There y'all go.
Gentlemen, good to have you here on the S.I.M.P podcast. We're going to be talking about refereeing tonight. You guys have been doing it. Salute to y'all. I've done a little bit of refereeing in my tiny little bit of life. It's a hard job. It's a thankless job. And I'll just start off with Mr. Duncan. What's your passion for refereeing, and how do you go about it? And how did you get started in refereeing?
Well, I started probably like 10 years ago doing rec ball. My daughter played ball. She played rec ball, high school ball. She wanted to walk on at the University of Alabama. Unfortunately, they wasn't taking walk-ons at the time. And when I was going to the high school's game, you know, I was looking at a bunch of the guys, and I'm watching them as they run up and down the court. And I'm like, man, these some old guys, man. These guys know, right? They can't even keep up. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know, I'm not one of the people to just sit back and complain. So I said, hey, I'm sitting in the stands and I'm thinking, man, I could do a better job than some of these guys, right? So I said, all right, I've been doing it in the rec for a while anyway, so let's see what's going on the high school level, and that's what got me started. So on the high school side of things, it's very different from street ball and AAU and rec ball and all that. Once you go and start calling high school ball, is more professional, should I say? It's more of a profession than anything.
And how did you get your form of training doing that?
So, of course, you start out in rec ball, but you don't really work on a lot of you don't really know a lot of mechanics when you in rec ball. But as you grow and go to middle school and you start working the middle school games and start working 3-man crews and start working high school games, JV games, and now working varsity games and stuff like that, you learn as you go. But it's really on the individual. A lot of it is on the individual wanting to get better, just like with anything else. You know what I'm saying? You gotta want to get better because you wanna give a good quality product out there. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. I'm sorry, the gentleman on my left here. What's your name again? I'm sorry, because you have MVAF. I'm sorry. What's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Mr. Marcus, I'll just pass it along to you. How did you get started? How did you get your passion for refereeing? And again, salute to both you gentlemen. I've done it before. I've done it in the recce leagues like the Y. Thankless job. So thank you for what you guys do and for the military too. And thank you guys. Salute. Go ahead, Mr. Marcus.
Well, how I started out was I started out helping my stepmom. She was coaching middle school basketball, so I was helping her coach middle school basketball and everything. So one of the vets in our association, they kept asking me about refereeing. I'm like, yeah. So I pondered the idea for a while, and after that, I said, you know what? Let me go and try it. And so what I first learned was playing the game and refereeing the game is a whole different thing. You know, playing it, you see it basically playing it and refereeing it, you see it from two different sides. So I started out with basketball my first year, mainly rec. Mainly at that time, a lot of rookies weren't getting on the high school court, some on the middle school court, but I started out doing rec. And I learned a lot in my rec during the rec season. Then I branched off into the AAU, doing the AAU and the travel ball, and where I had an unfortunate incident which led to which led to me, filing a lawsuit and having a lot of legal issues due to an assault that happened. So I went from there, and then from there I started doing. My next year, I went to middle school, then the high school. Mainly, I mean, I've done a few. I've done varsity, not as much varsity. I do a lot of JV games, but my passion for refereeing is, to try to teach the kids. At the end of the day, the people in the stands and the parents did not come to see the refs make all the calls. They want to come to see the kids play. We're just there to, enforce the rules and teach them. Hey, teach them the game as well as letting them play. Also as well as with football, because I do football. We try not to throw a lot of flags. We just want to, teach the kids and show them kids this is how the game should be played.
Gotcha. I'll pass it to Coach Wells. Coach Wells, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, question for both of y'all, and I can tell, just listening to both of y'all and how y'all got started. And it's just y'all was watching how referees ref, and then y'all was also, in the game or had a kid that's in the game. So when reffing, and I know it's nothing about reffing is easy. Nothing about being a ref is easy because it's a hard job. I know because I coach and I try to. I'm very lenient when it comes to the refs because y'all make some hard calls. But when y'all make the calls, do y'all find yourself on the court teaching the players right from wrong, telling them what they did, trying to, help them navigate through the sport that they love to play? Because I see some refs just make calls and don't say nothing, to the kids, because the ones that really care actually, once they make a call and, some they'll walk over and say, hey, listen, I made the call because you did this or that. So are y'all or either one are y'all those type of refs to teach why enforcing the rules?
Well, me, yes, because and then you have some kids that will come to you and ask, "Ref, what did I do?" And you'll explain it to them, and then once they get a good understanding of it, they'll be like, "Okay." But yeah, I also do try to teach them as well, to as well as let them play, because how are they going to get better, or how are they supposed to know what they're going to do?
I'm a little different when it comes to that, man. I think it depends on the level. I really believe it depends on the level. If I'm calling 8U game. Of course, I'm calling that game differently from the way I'm gonna call a varsity game. Um, so yeah, really, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's just when I think about am I teaching them? Yeah, we teach them. Most just about every ref I know gonna teach some kids, or whatever the kid. If the kid come and ask him, we on a high school level and we talking varsity level, and a player come and say, hey, what I did. And a lot of times, what happens is refs will be like, hey, listen. Hey, you turning that ball over. You getting underneath that ball. You getting underneath that ball. They're gonna tell you a few times. We normally they even tell you, coach, hey, number 3, hey coach, his hand keep getting underneath the ball. You know what I'm saying? Turning it over. So just make sure you talk to them about that. Sometimes they'll do that. You know what I mean? But I really think it depends on what level we playing on. Because a lot of times, like right now in high school, everybody watching NBA ball and they think they got a 0-step. There is no 0-step in high school. There is no 0-step. They think they can do these 3-step step backs and these wild Euro steps. You know what I'm saying? But there is no 0-step in high school basketball. And a lot of coaches teach that technique, which is wrong. And here's the thing. A lot of times what people think, like, I sat in the stands as fans too and thought I knew the rules. You really don't know the rules until you read the book. Because when we read the book, it's totally different. Like everybody here that done played basketball know, hey, if I shoot the ball and I go catch the ball, it don't hit nothing, everybody gonna say travel. That's not a travel. If you read the rule book, it's not a travel. That's just one of the common street ball type, you know what I'm saying, calls that you'll call. But in the rule book, that's not a travel. Literally, it's in the rule book. So it's a lot of little nuances to it that you can try to relate to the kids. But on a high school level, I don't feel like it's my job to teach them more or less. You know what I'm saying? It's the coach's job. If we
Well,
talk about a middle school kid or younger or something like that, yeah. But if a high school kid asks me what he did wrong or what she did wrong, of course I'm gonna explain it to her. But that ain't at that level. It's not for me to teach them that right there. It's for me to maintain the game and keep a good game flow.
well, yeah, I now see, I do agree with Mike on that, on that. But also too, it is the coach's responsibilities. I will agree with that. But mainly, I do a lot. I do mainly JV. So most of the kids that I'm reffing are just coming into high school. Most of them are mainly ninth graders. Like I said, I do a few varsity, but yeah, by the time you should get the varsity, you should already know. Yeah, we can we give you an explanation of the rules, but by that point, when you're on the varsity level, you should know most of this stuff. But it's up to the coaches to teach them. And the thing about it is, are some of these coaches teaching that?
Are the coaches and so when you are teaching them, are the coaches and are the players receptive to what you're saying, or are they more argumentative?
Uh, in between, you may I will tell them, and it's up to basically I will tell them, and it's up to, especially on the JV level or the varsity level, you will explain it to them, but it's up to them if they're receptive or not. I mean, I'm not coming at them hard or anything. I mean, I'm just letting them know. But they, as players, they should take the information that we're giving them, and and go with it. But like I said, that's up to them.
Yeah, for the
You
most part,
mentioned
yes. The answer to your question, for the most part, is yes. I think though, there are just like with anything, there's goods and bads. You know what I'm saying? Some coaches just be like, "Hey, nah, you wrong," and show it to me in the book type deal, or all these other different things. But for the most part, everybody receptive because they know you're gonna call it. As long as you're calling it, they gonna change it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Whether they receptive to it or not. If I'm calling it consistently, you know what I'm saying? Well, I done told you, and I'm calling it consistently. Then of course you ain't got no choice but to really be receptive to it, unless you want to turn over every play, pretty much.
Now,
Yeah,
you mentioned that.
You're right.
That,
I can agree with you. Yeah.
You mentioned that there's no zero step in the high school level of the game, but do they have like seminars or anything before the season start where the refs get with the coaches or the coaches association type thing to go over the rules, because there are a difference in rules from different levels of the game, so that they can have a clear understanding of what is allowed and what is not allowed?
Definitely. I know here in Savannah, our president meets with all the ADs and all the head coaches every year. And they discuss rule changes and how we're going to adjudicate those things and how things are going to work and game flow and answer any questions that coaches have. Also in Georgia, all coaches have to take the clinic also. If you are a GSHA coach, you got to take the GSSA. You had to take it. You had to take the clinic online. So and then the way our association is, any coach at any school can come up to any of our meetings and sit in. They can sit in to all our association meetings. So it's not an issue if a coach has a question, they come up and they want to know and they trying to see. And over the last 2 years, for sure, our association has started doing like mini camps for incoming officials, new officials, and if you got less than 3 years or so, because they want to get a look at you. Our veteran guys want to get a look at you, make sure you're learning, make sure you're moving up, kind of moving up in the ranks, kind of per se. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you're running the floor, you're getting up and you're in the right position. You know the rotations and things of that nature, because it's a lot of little nuances that come with it. It ain't just blowing your whistle and calling travel and double. You know what I mean?
Speaking of travel, no, I'm just kidding. But we as fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about fans. Let's go.
Yeah. I got a couple questions with that. But
come on, I got all the smoke. Let's get it.
Makeup call.
Ain't no such thing. Ain't no such thing. Ain't no such thing.
So we as fans are dead wrong when we think that you have made up a call on one end of the floor and you come back and make this what seemingly is a phantom call on the other end.
Look, I got an answer to you, my guy. I got an answer for you, right? At every level in every sport, right? Every level in every sport. I don't care what level is that, what sport it is. It's a guy that you see that be like, man, that referee trash. He got the game. God, dog. Right? Yeah. He's trash. God dang it. But listen, that man or that woman is out there doing the best that they can with what they're given in their circumstances. Now, there's nobody on here that can get on here and call every single call and get it correct every time and don't miss a call. You know what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as makeup calls. I've been on the floor and missed a call and I'll be like, hot dog, I missed that one. Oh, going back down the court. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. It ain't a whole lot I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? If I missed it, I missed it. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to go down the court and call travel because I missed a foul on the other end. There's no such thing.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes, you going to miss. Hey, like Mike said, you're going to miss calls, but you just got to keep it going, you know? You got to just keep going with it, you know? But
it's on to the next play.
Calls. So Marcus and Mike.
Come on with it.
Never made. I'm just messing with you, fellas.
Hey, look. I don't know about Marcus, but I can speak for Mike. Mike ain't never made a makeup call. Period. There's no such thing.
Right. Hey, again, let me just jump in. As I say, and I keep saying this, I wish people had the opportunity to do what you guys did. Yes. Like I only did it at the Y. I did it for like 2-3 years. And that was, and I was like, guys. I tried to study my craft, make sure I knew every call. Like you said, met with the parents and people that participate. Hey, these are the rules. Da da da. You can't be doing that stuff that they do on TV. I mean, in the NBA, that because we're gonna cause travel. And like you said, I just wish people just can step into you guys' shoes and really see what you do because, like you said, it's human beings, and it's absolutely sometimes you are going to miss things. It happens. Now, you guys, I don't know, if both of y'all rated. I think in the pros, like all for professional major league sports, they rate their referees and stuff like that. So yeah, you can't miss them all the time, but
No,
you got to be good at what you do. You got to hone your craft and do what you do. Go ahead and
well,
respond to that, you guys.
they rate you in Georgia too.
Okay.
We go to camp over the summer. Those of us that what I'm saying aspire to want to call postseason play. You go to camp over the summer. When these high schools in camp, those referees, they're in camp. They're getting rated. They got clinicians out there that's watching. Hey, was he strong on the call? Was it the correct call? Was his mechanics correct? All that type of stuff. So when them high schools are at these camps, there are referees there that are in camp at the same time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because I agree.
you get rated. Trust me.
Because I'm gonna tell you, the first time I went to camp, it was an experience for me, but it did make it made me a better ref. I said because they grade you, and depending on how you're graded, is basically how you're ranked as well. So, my first time at camp, I did a pretty good job, I could say, but we all go to camp. They require us to go to camp so we can become better. So we can sit there and enforce the rules.
Right.
What determines? Because I think Marcus made the statement that we're not there to see the refs. What determines tonight if we're gonna call this a close, hard knit game, or we gonna kind of let them play ball a little bit? And don't say y'all. And then come on now, you ain't finna say y'all don't do that. Now come on now.
No. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that at all, brother. I ain't saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all, brother. I would say, at the beginning when we get ready to do, we got pregame. I say pregame meals. I'm talking about football. We got pregame, right? So what we call the R, the referee, the head guy. He or she gives us the brief. Basically what we're looking for. We talk about the emphasis, the new emphasis. You know what I'm saying? So we go over all that in our pregame also. And it just really depends on the game, the flow of the game. You know what I'm saying? If you come into the game knowing that you got a big time post player, right? You can expect a little bit more physicality in the post. You know what I'm saying? So like a little bit of that you may let go. You know what I'm saying? But most of the times the refs are talking to those big guys down there and big girls down there in the post. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's too much. Hey, get your hands off him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, back up. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what the fans miss is that communication with the players, because a lot of time the players already know what's going on and what the ref is. Hey, look, man, get your hands off him. Get your hands off. You got your hand. Boop. Now the fans is upset. I done told the player like 50 times already, though. Right. The player knows. He ain't. He or she ain't upset. I mean, yeah, they upset because they can't hand check like they want to hand check. But we done talked to them. We done told them during the course of the game over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? So that really the flow of the game. If the game flows, we just go with the flow of the game. We manage the flow of the game, man. That's really what it is. The game dictates that more. I guess I could say the game dictates it, not the refs.
Let me ask this question, and it'll be both to you gentlemen. Would you say you have a quick whistle or you're patient, or it depends?
Well.
So every ref goes into, like I say, in the pregame. I haven't been in a pregame with an R, and I've been that hadn't said, "Hey, be patient with your whistle." You know what I'm saying? Now at the half, or if we see they super physical or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And it's super aggressive, and the game could end up in a fight or something like that. Typically, we all gonna come together, and they go, "Hey, we got to get on the whistle a little bit more." You know what I'm saying? You got to be a little quicker on your whistle here, because these two guys or these two girls they keep bumping into each other or whatever. You got to have a quick whistle over there. You know what I'm saying? So it really does depend.
Yeah, it does depend sometimes, because like like Mike said, if you got two girls jostling at each other, are they going back and forth? You want to keep control. You don't want to let the game get out of hand. Same as in football. Sometimes after the mainly in football it's after the play, it's a little chippiness. So you try to basically not to have a quick whistle. But you want to control the game as well. You don't want any unfortunate circumstances to happen where basically you have to issue a technical foul or eject the player. Because
Definitely.
in high school with the ejections, the coaches get fined. The coaches get fined for the ejections, and that basically hits the school's pocket and the AD's pocket. So basically, they say with technical fouls, when you call them, make sure on ejection, make sure it is clear. It's a clear, it's grounds for
it. And with ejections, you say ejections, you can't take those back.
Yeah, you can't.
It ain't no reviewing them, or we gonna come together and he no longer ejected. No, once you eject him or her, that's it. It's over. Ain't no wait a minute. We talked about it. So if you say you ejected this person, once that person is ejected, it's over. Ain't no coming together at that point. It's all over. That person's gone.
What's the difference between the white hat and the other two guys on the court? What's
that's on football, the football field, right?
Yeah, that's on
football.
Football
Is the white hat.
Okay.
Football is the white hat. You mean
in basketball, you will never know who the referee is. You don't know who the R is.
You'll never know in basketball.
Well, you'll know if you know. He's the guy standing in the middle, typically. He's the guy that's going to do the jump ball, typically. Unless he pass it off to a guy that he trying to help train and get used to something like that. You know what I'm saying? But typically, when you walk out there and you see them three referees standing there, the one that's standing on that center line is the referee. He's the R. He's the crew chief. He's the one in charge of the crew.
Going back to what you said about once an ejection happens, or you guys don't come together and overturn a call. Let's take that back to 2 weeks ago when Georgia and Texas played. And I don't know if you guys saw that game, but during that game there was a call. The call was pass interference, defensive pass interference. That was the call on the field. Bottles were thrown on the field by upset fans. After the bottles were cleared up, the call was overturned. They picked up the flag. Now, my question to you all is, do you feel that was the appropriate call? And have you ever been in situations where you probably had to overturn a call?
Mark, you want to go first because you do football?
Well, from a football aspect, let me tell you, we don't have instant replay in high school football.
Nah.
We don't have instant replay in high school football because, once you make that call, sometimes you will come together. But a call like that, basically, that the back judge, the back judge and the side judge really made that call. So, they have to, they may have to come together and, confer with it. But it's really with that Georgia Texas game, I think they went the instant replay on that. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
I think because you can't make if you made a pass interference call, and that's what it was in high school. That's where it stands. Even if it's some kind of ruckus where bottles or something are being thrown on the field, because there's no, like I told you, in high school, there's no instant replay. You basically have to live and die with that call.
And I'm glad you said that because a few years ago there was a play in a Georgia high school.
Yep, I already know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
They got.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, I'm sorry. They use instant replay in the playoffs in Georgia high school now.
Yeah, for football they use it in the playoffs.
Yep, they use it in the playoffs because of that call right there. Because of that call.
That call was so atrocious that I felt that is one instance where you have to actually say that's the wrong call. How can you call a touchdown when the opposing team ends up with the ball before it even crosses the goal line?
Right.
Yeah, so, because of that call, they use replay. They started it last year, I think.
Yeah, they started it last year. But also, too, with that, it goes back to the previous question where you said quick whistle. I think it was a quick whistle. I really think that guy blew it. Because sometimes when you in that pile down there, that 1 yard line, you got to go up in there to actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
And as referees, they should have all the two linesmen and the umpire, everybody should have came in there just to see where that ball was at, or who came up with the ball, or who came out of the pile with the ball and all that. I think that was just a quick we got a lot of controversy for that. As a state association of football, there was a lot of controversy behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard y'all talking about football, man, and the one thing what people don't realize is, right, on a basketball court is 3 referees. And what people don't realize is that, listen, the guest team gonna have a bunch of people on their side. The home team gonna have a bunch of people on their side. But the only team that's on the court.
No fans.
Yep.
Gotta stick together. So that's why when you see if a call being made, a lot of times referees will come together on the basketball court, especially if we got a double whistle, what we call a double whistle. You may have a block, I may have a charge or whatever. We're going to come together and, hey, whoever primary is, we're going to yield to the primary. So that the yield to the primary mean, hey, if it's your primary area, then you got a block, then that's what it is a block. But we're going to come together and talk about it. So, I mean, that's really what it is. And we need more younger people to start getting involved in officiating, man, because if we don't, they're not gonna be able to play. Yeah, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. Look, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm 43 years old, and I'm one of the youngest people I'm almost one of the youngest people in our association, bro.
Wow.
Well, we got guys that's 60 and 70 years old, man.
Why is that?
Because I think a problem is like people can't deal with the crowd.
Yeah.
With the fans. It don't be the players, it's the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get threats all the time. You know what I mean? Like every call is hey, have the gym mad and have the gym happy. But the way people talk to you and try to handle you is a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing. So I think it's harder for young people to, you know what I'm saying, kind of block that kind of stuff out.
Right.
When I first started, when I first started, I was that way. You know, I didn't care. You know, I would cuss you out like, shoot, I don't care what's up. You know, I took it. You know, you had to take it to the street with some of them because that's all they knew. But as I got older, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, you can't be that way. But let me tell you, over the past 3 years, there has been a drop off in officiating where people are like, you know what? After 2-3 years, I don't want to do this anymore because of the rowdiness of the fans, and at the recreation level. Not saying because Mike coaches rec at high school, but one thing about Mike, he keeps his parents in control. I can give him that. They you know, they're gonna be upset about some calls and everything, but they don't cross the boundary how some of these fans are. When they want to meet you to the car, they want to step out onto the court, you know, after the game. Oh, you cheating! They want to swear, use all kind of explicitives and everything. It's mainly the fans because at 40, Mike's 43, I'm 40. I would say it's probably less than a dozen people in our association that's under 40, and you try to get people to do it. Yeah.
I say it because it's a job, and people, as Mike said earlier, they don't know how or want to deal with that backlash of being able to. You're an authority figure, basically. You're out there to adjudicate the calls, and good, bad, or indifferent. You know, people and the fanatics, because that's what they are. They can't handle, that, and they don't understand, that these are human beings out there, and sometimes even the best, even when they're in the best of their game, they're going to miss something. I was going to ask you guys about the WNBA thing. I don't know if y'all saw it a couple of weeks ago with the championship with the Liberty and the Lynx, and at the end of the game, what's her name, Breonna Stewart, clearly wasn't fouled. But there was so much backlash with that thing, and they need to change the refs, and they get training. I was like, how do we know they don't get training? We don't know. Sometimes we're just emotional. When it comes to those things, when big calls are missed, what's your thoughts on that?
But what I can say is on our level, let me tell you, and Mike knows it from basketball. From basketball, man, there is a major shortage of referees. So some days we referee in 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. You know? So we have to keep a positive mindset that, hey, we're here to call a basketball game. And like you said, we're not perfect, And I know, and I didn't see the play per se, but I know from what you're telling me, it's a lot of backlash of it. But we are human, we make mistakes. They think us as officials that we're not supposed to miss anything or not see, we're not supposed to miss anything and see everything.
Yep.
And in basketball, it's hard because we're talking about a 3-man crew. Sometimes on the middle school or travel ball level,
it's two.
It's two men. Yeah.
I see the way it was one.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, man, one is tough. But okay, I can tell you this, man. If the man or woman that's refereeing, that's officiating on an NBA floor or WNBA floor is the best of the best, bro. It is the best of the best, bro. Like it's hard to get better than that, bro. And with so many rule differences and the way that game, the speed of the game, the flow of the game, all that, man, like they are the best of the best, bro. Like I'm when they make mistakes, it is what it is to me. Because I guarantee you, if you
Mike, you breaking up.
Oh my bad. But if you don't realize how much time you got to put in, the basketball test we got to take is 100 questions.
Okay.
I mean, I can't even tell you what it looked like on a NBA level.
So I got a question. So it goes back to what you said when y'all have these clinics and these referee meetings. Coaches should be the least ones to complain because they have full access to come in and sit in the meetings and learn the rules.
Yes, they do. They have full access. Like, we open up the meetings to the coaches. So, yeah.
But y'all still, per se, get a lot of slack from the coaches when y'all make calls.
That's always, man. We're going to agree. As coaches and referees, we're going to agree to disagree.
Right. As
Yeah, that's a part of the game, man. The coach doing his job. Coach doing his job.
About the reffing in AAU, everybody has seen videos and just the things that gets out of hand.
Right.
My question is there a way to better protect y'all as refs? Because from just looking at it, it looked like you say, there's no team but y'all as the few of y'all that's on the court. Is there a better way to do that, to handle that?
Truthfully, I'm gonna tell you this. I filed the lawsuit on that on that same incident, and the lawsuit was for lack of security. Some of these, not all these tournament directors, not all of them, but some of them, it's all about the profit. It's all about the profit gain,
right,
and not about the security. Not just for the officials. Fans have been attacked, coaches have been attacked, players have been attacked. And some people, they put profit over protection. Yes. And what I think they need to do is security. But at some of these tournaments that where these incidents happen at, some are not some like anybody can. Hey, we're gonna throw a tournament and we're gonna invite these teams. Yeah. And it's some, and I know, like Wells with George Ignite, they plan their tournaments pretty well. And the tournaments he go to, you really don't hear about anything like that because most of these tournaments are sanctioned.
Right.
A lot of this stuff, some of these things are unsanctioned. It's just trying to get profit. Because AAU has become big business these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
man. Security at AAU is a whole nother monster, man.
Yeah,
AAU is a whole nother monster. Officials don't even officiate AAU games the same way they will officiate an official high school game.
Yeah. Unless the tournament director or the director of that sanction or that tournament actually, and it because it's different. It'll be called different during live periods. Reason being because you got 100 plus, 200 plus college coaches in there watching. So they may have meetings prior to say, hey, listen, these coaches want to see how these kids handle adversity. So let them play through a little bit, but still make your calls.
Well, I disagree with you on that, Wells. I disagree with you. Even in live period, it ain't called. It only get called like it's a real game for real until like when it comes down to like the finals. When we get into bracket play, you know what I'm saying? When you get in the bracket play, the calls get a little tighter. You know what I mean?
Well,
and the championship game is called, and the championship game is going to be called, you know what I'm saying, as if it was a real game.
Right. But in live periods, there is no bracket play because you get 45 games to show college coaches what you're made of. Most of those referees that referee during live periods, not all, but most, they're trying to coach at the college level, or they're trying to ref at the college level, or they're trying to get to the pro level as a ref. So college coaches have some pulls when it comes to certain refs, or they may help a referee out if they know the referee is out there making the right calls, you know keeping controlling the game and everything. They may put in a word or two for them. I've seen it happen. But yeah, just a regular old tournament, yeah, it doesn't matter until they get the bracket play or tournament play. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. But also too, Wells, you done been to 100 tournaments now. You done been to 100 tournaments over the years. Also too, a lot of like, we're in an association. Me and Mike, we're in an association. A lot of referees in associations, and these high school associations, don't even want to bother with calling AAU.
Right.
Which puts sometimes these tournaments at a disadvantage, because you're basically getting guys who really don't have the training to I've never really called high school on a consistent basis,
Right.
to go out there and try to call these games, because because a lot of these coaches are on top of these rules. So as referees, we have to be on top of our game and know and interpret the rules as well. But a lot of high school refs, they don't want to call. They were like, no, we're not doing it. And sometimes also too, the pay goes into it as well. But mainly, it's like Mike said, AAU is a whole nother monster, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Like
really is.
I've called. Let me tell you, I've called Peach State, not Peach Jam, but Peach State, to showcase in Augusta. And man, it is high level basketball. It is real high level basketball. These parents, these coaches, they travel from New York, West Coast, Midwest to come play, and they want to see good basketball and good called games.
Yeah.
And good called games. And so, you have to be on, as referees, we have to be on top of it. But some referees will be like, and some of these other tournaments will be like, no, they'll call the associations. I've known them to call my president my first year, and he told them, nah, for that amount of money, no, I'm not getting any refs. Now, if you want to get any refs, if you want to get refs outside of the association, or talk to refs by yourself to see if they want to come help you, that's on you. Because, basically during the summer, we're independent anyway,
Right.
So, but yeah, some associations will not bring their refs to do AAU tournaments, and it's mainly because of the controversy of what goes on at these tournaments. Now, like those tournaments y'all go to, or Nike or Under Armour, major tournaments, you're not really going to see all of that in those tournaments, because a lot of these teams are being sponsored,
Right.
especially by shoe like Puma, Adidas, and all that. And you don't want to lose your sponsorship over some nonsense, because at the end of the day, they want to protect their brand, especially EYBL, stuff like Nike and EYBL. They want to protect their brand, so they don't want that negative publicity. They don't want that negative publicity on their name.
Right. But we all know it's not when it comes to refs. We know sometimes it's not the team. We know for sure a lot of times it's not the kids. It's the parents.
Yeah.
And it's the parents that actually think that, and we've said it on the show before. it's the parents, some of the parents that think that their kids are better than what they really are.
Yeah.
But when you get out there, you get to making calls and you get to, you know, pretty much just pointing out all the kids' flaws, and the kid is getting scored on. The parents are already frustrated because they done spent $200-$300 to get their kid there.
Yeah.
You know, you're spending $200-$300, $400 for a hotel over the weekend, transportation, and your kid gets out there, and the last thing you want is for a ref to dictate. Well, not dictate because it's not the ref's fault. For ref to point out all your kid flaws because you thought your kid was better than what they really were.
Man, it have
Coach Wells, you almost sounded like a coach then when you said dictate. I almost heard it. It almost came out, fellas. He almost.
Hey man,
he tried to act like he don't give you the refs no problem, but I heard that dictate.
I don't give the refs problem. I like to talk and fool with the refs and laugh with them because if I'm coaching against a coach and he's irate and he's chomping at the ref, I'm the ref's best friend. I'm playing on your mental. I'm the referee's best friend. I'm gonna let you see the ref laughing and talking with me. That's me. I like.
Now you the reason they want to go after the ref.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not like you the agitator.
You his partner, huh? You his partner.
Yeah.
Y'all know each other. Y'all know each other.
Yeah.
So that's your boy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's your man.
Yeah, man. But
question is do you, okay, I guess my question, do y'all have aspirations on coaching at college level, and how does that work? Do y'all have to apply, or can you get, or are you sitting by the phone wait and somebody call you, hey
man,
we've seen you?
I don't have any aspirations, honestly, to officiate any higher than where I'm at in high school ball right now, man. I think that's, I got two sons, and I want to be around with them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do all the traveling. I did all that in the military, you know what I'm saying? So I really don't. I just want to kind of focus on my boys, man. But as far as I know people get invites. They get invites to different camps. I know one young lady got invited. She got invited to a camp where she could possibly be a Division I official. So that's super exciting for a lot of people. And then there's other camps that you can pay for. You can go to that you pay for, and you get looked at and you get evaluated for different levels of collegiate basketball. But my aspiration is to stay right here in the area that I'm in. I want to be as good as I can be. You know what I'm saying? And make sure my goal is just to be consistent, man. That's really it. Just be consistent, and I think part of it is if people see me hustling up and down the floor, and you know what I'm saying, whether I make the right call or miss a call or whatever it is, they see that I have the effort to get up and down the floor and run with these kids, man. And I think that goes a long way with controlling somewhat of how the fans act.
Gotcha. This has been a good insight to refereeing this, and we're thankful for Marcus and Mike for their input and their insight when it comes to refereeing. And like I said, I'll say it again, man. Kudos to you guys for what you do and what you do on the court, and also shout out to you guys for serving the country. Thank you for your service. And let me give you some applause here. Yeah. Thanks again for coming through, man. This was This was awesome. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, look, I can't leave because I was listening to y'all Heisman discussion. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to your Heisman discussion, and I got to put my 2 cents in if y'all don't mind.
Well, go ahead. Jump in.
Go ahead.
I got Travis Hunter for sure with all the snaps on both sides of the ball. It ain't many people that can do what he done, and it is super hard to do that at that level. A lot of people don't know like the endurance you got to have to be able to go both sides of the ball, man, and be an impact player. Ashton Genty, don't get me wrong, he had like 39 carries the other day.
Yeah.
But that ain't 70, 80 plays. You know what I'm saying? The man had, I think, 9 receptions, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 PBUs. Come on, man. Like, that's hard, bro.
I'm not arguing.
That's hard, bro.
I'm not arguing with the 5 of y'all about how special the kid is. I'm not.
Sounds like a butt coming.
That's nothing.
Yeah, the butt coming. I can hear it.
I would never listen. The kid is spectacular. I mean, hands down, I love the kid. Spectacular. But
y'all shouldn't even have him on the show talking about he'll vote for Klubnik, man. That's horrible.
But that's only if you listen, and that's just any fan.
I ain't no in advance, man.
If the NCAA give a fan a vote, who you think they're gonna vote for?
Listen, I'm an Alabama fan. I ain't voting for Jalen Milroy. I'm voting for the best college football player.
That because nobody's mentioning Jalen Milroy in the Heisman conversation at the moment.
Look, man, stop. Klubnik ain't even thought of. Let's be real.
Klubnik is top 5 now. He is top 5.
Man,
top 5. Hey, I'm just saying, y'all.
Hey, man, y'all might need to look at another one, man. I don't know if Coach over here is coaching like that, bro. Hey, I'm hating on her right now for sure.
But it's not hate when it's true. It's not hate when it's true.
But you have to admit.
But to my club
is top 5.
No. Like I said, it's not hate when it's true. When you tell the truth, it's not hate. Wells is. But Wells, let me tell you one thing I know. I've been learning about Wells. When everything, with the exception of Clemson, Pittsburgh, and them Denver Nuggets, he lose his mind when it comes to them 3. Everything a pretty stand-up guy. You can have a pretty decent conversation with him.
Stand-up guy.
Hold on. We're talking about the Steelers. Russ is cooking, okay? Russ is cooking.
For how long, though?
Huh?
Man, my bad, man. My bad, man. I ain't mean to derail you, my man. But hey, man, appreciate y'all having us. Appreciate y'all having us come on, man. And again, if anybody out there, you know, we definitely need younger officials, and so hey, send them to if they're in the Savannah area, definitely send them over there to Jenkins Athletic Club, man. We got a meeting this Sunday, as a matter of fact. We got a training on Saturday, and on Sunday we got a meeting. So definitely have them come over there and meet with any of those guys, any of the referees that's in there, direct them in the right direction to be able to help us out. So we appreciate y'all, and we thank you for having us on, man.
Make sure you say that. Say it one more time. Say it one more time so they can give them the address if you can.
I don't have the address with me, but it's if you're in the Savannah area, it's the Jenkins Athletic Club. It's the Jenkins Athletic Club. It's off of what? Waters?
Waters.
Yeah,
it's off of Eisenhower's and Waters or something like that.
It's a big sign. It's a big sign outside. So
Yeah, definitely. If anybody's interested, and the pay ain't that bad either, though. Let me tell you that the pay ain't that bad. So
Hey,
definitely come on out there, man. We can use the help. And the more young people get involved, the better it'll be, though.
Hey man, we surely appreciate you guys, man.
yes,
Thank
sir.
y'all for what y'all do because I know me being a little league football coach, I know I have given y'all hell, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. But what I will do is give y'all some water at the next time out.
Man, if you gonna give us hell, make it work. Give us some Gatorade, man. Give us some Gatorade, man. Make it worth our while. You know what I'm saying? Might not feel so bad about throwing them flags on you, man.
I appreciate
Hey,
you guys, man.
hey, gentlemen, y'all have a good night, man. Thanks for
All
having
right.
us.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, man.
Bye-bye.
And Marcus, man, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it, man. Man, that was very insightful. That was very detailed what those guys went through. And hey, I challenge you, those in the Savannah area. I put the address up here. I'll put it up here again. Jenkins Athletic Club, 408 Waters Avenue, Savannah, Georgia, man. Hey, be a referee, man. Be a referee.
Yeah, help the community. Help the
Help the
community.
community, man. Help the community. You know what I'm saying? You need some young guns out there, man. And them old lions, man, they old lions, bro. So get on out there and help the community. I'm talking nationwide too, man. If you got somebody in the community,
Yeah.
the why anyway, hey, be a referee. You might not, all those. I always tell kids, if you want to, you know, if you didn't make the team, well, what can you do to be a part of it, right?
Right.
You got refereeing, you got all the. You can be the scorer. You can do all types of the PA announcer, all that stuff to help out to
It
make it
all
work.
helps.
You know, and which can lead you into other directions as you help out and do things. So that's me. But those guys, those gentlemen, thank you for Mike and Marcus, man. Salute to those guys, man. I'll give it to Coach Wells. We're going to talk about the top 25 high schools in the land according to football.
Yes, sir. And we're going into week 10 of high school football, and the top 25 rankings in the country are number one, Mater Day. They still number one. 8-0, still number one, been number one for most of the season. And it looked like nothing's going to change until somebody knocks them off. Milton, Georgia, number two, 9-0. Duncanville, Texas, 7-0 at number three. Number four, Bishop Gorman, 8-1. Number five, IMG Academy. Since their first loss at the beginning of the season, they moved up the ranks all the way up to number five right now at 6-1. Carrollton from Georgia, number six, 9-0. Number seven, North Shore out of Houston, 8-0. Number eight, St. John Bosco out of Bellflower is 8-1. Mission Viejo out of California is 9-0. North Crawley out of Fort Worth, Texas, 8-0 at number 10. Number 11, Archbishop Spalding, 9-0. Number 12, Buford, Georgia, 8-1. Boyd County, 9-0 at 13. Number 14, Lakeland, Florida, 8-0. Number 15, Orange Lutheran, 7-2. Number 16, Chaminade, 8-2. Number 17, St. Francis, 18. Venice. Hold on. Go back to 17 at St. Francis. Evidently, St. Francis is probably playing the toughest schedule in the United States because they're number 17 and they're 6-3.
How's that?
Hey, they number 17 and 6-3. Number 18 is Venice Beach from California at 8-1. Number 19 is Star Cedar at 7-1. Number 20 is Corner Canyon at 9-1. Number 21 is Bergen Catholic at 7-1. Number 22, De La Salle was in the top 10 at one point. But De La Salle is 8-0. That got to be your strength of schedule or something because they done dropped down to number 22 at 8-0. Centennial is number 23 at 72. The Matha out of Hyattsville, Maryland is 71. And DeSoto at number 25 is 6-2. I would love to see at the end of the season, just like they do in high school basketball, at the end of the season, they take the top 20 or 25 teams in the country and they play each other to see who's the best team in the country. I would love to see that in football, but I don't think it's going to happen because it probably would take a month or 2 months to get to decide who's the best team in the country.
Yeah, when you look at the logistics, you can't do it in football. With the movement of the teams, the locations, short notice practices, school classes that they have. Yeah, with logistics, I don't think you can actually make that happen.
I agree.
That would be a great thing to see, though.
With Neil, they can move. With the money, they can move.
Yeah. What do you think about if they try like used to be NCAA the second whatever the thing called now? Where they set up a playoffs,
the top 12,
playoffs.
Or the top, the top 12, top 10.
I think that's going to be hard to do because once again, you look at their football schedules running to December is when the state playoffs and state championships. These kids got school, and so it's not the same. I think what we're wanting is, I guess I agree. We want more football. We love more football, but I think we got to stop pushing kids to be pros for our entertainment. Because now,
aren't they traveling with basketball?
But aren't they paying them like pro players?
Are totally different. Hold on, but the logistics are totally different for basketball because you're talking about taking 15 players versus taking 50 some odd players. And then I can play a basketball game. I can play a basketball game every night. You know, you can play basketball. You can play a game tonight. You can play another game tomorrow night. But football, it's gonna take a whole another week before I play a whole another game.
I agree.
Well, not in Little League. I don't know if we gonna play 3 games in one day, but I don't know what you talking
about. Y'all don't care about them kids. Their parents don't care about their kids. They're trying to get their kids paychecks. They don't even care about
Hey, I think it's the absolute most insane thing in the world to play more than maybe 2 games in a day.
Play one. You're breaking these kids' bodies down. Trying to have them play multiple games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree.
I think,
especially with concussions and things of that nature that's going on, these kids are bigger, faster, stronger, hitting much harder. Even in the Little League, these kids, like I remember, now you got me on the dot, got me all diverted. I remember my son when he was in when he started like 8 or 10 years old. He played for Peachtree Ridge. He played for the elementary school that's associated with Peachtree Ridge High School in Suwanee, Georgia. Anyways, they were playing against the elementary school that's associated with Beaufort High School. These kids from Beaufort came down, and these kids were so huge, bigger than me, and they're like 10 years old. And I'm like, get my mouth confused. My brother need to be here. Don't hurt my boy.
I actually, at the gym, I got a 5th grader looking me dead in my eye.
I'm telling you, it's different now. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So you can't let these kids continue to get hit when these kids are bigger, faster, stronger than what we would.
Right.
I like I say, I agree 1,000% with you. It's absurd to me, but like I say, I have been in these especially these preseason and after season tournaments and some of these, and then you get there, some of these kids done played 20 games. The season hadn't even started, and I'm like, y'all do know they playing football, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's absurd to me. But yeah.
But that's what happens when you don't have an adult in the room and they're just doing whatever. And
these are the so-called adults that's making these decisions.
Yeah,
that's
you
my
just
point.
said
That's
Kevin's
they're not
right.
making adult.
they're not thinking like adults.
No, they're
And-
adults in age. They're
correct.
adults in age.
And causing your child and putting your kids in harm. We absolutely should probably do a show on that. On hey, how many games should Pee Wee and Little League and stuff like that play? Because with travel ball and all that stuff.
Well, they traveling now, so they traveling
It's
and to play. But
gotcha.
I think 8 games. 8 games for 6 and under, 8 and under, at least 8 games at the most.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Rick. You had something before we get on out of here?
Oh no. Like I say, I agree, and but man, this has been a good one.
Oh yes.
This has definitely been a good one. Hey, again, those in the Savannah area, young guns, Jenkins Athletic Club. We need some referees. Hey, go sign up. Go holler at them. Jenkins Athletic Club, 408 Waters Avenue in Savannah, Georgia, 31406.
And the pay
And
is
if
good.
you're not, and if you are not even in Savannah area, everybody got a www.
Yeah.
Look it up if you have a desire to become a ref. Look it up. Get out there, get involved, man, because we need some good young refs. Because like you say, I watched a whole bunch of old guys trying to run up and down the football field last weekend, and that thing gets sad sometimes. They doing the best they can, but and yeah.
So, definitely, man. Before we go, we'll have the guys have the last say. I'll start with Brother Will. What you got for us before we get out of here?
You know what, man? Like I say, hey, shout out to to Mike and Marcus for coming on. Appreciate the insight, man. And I keep, as you guys have said, I reiterate it. You need more coaching. You need more. Excuse me. You need more referees out there. But I understand that. I understand why a lot of people do not want to be referees. When they talked about security at the high school that I teach at a few years ago, they were asking the JROTC instructors if they would actually secure the referees going to their bus. So when you start to have to get like retired military folks to actually try to pull security guard for referees going to their to get on the bus so they can get out of there so they can exit the game, that shows you how dangerous it is to be in that job. And it is a thankless job, but we need you all. We need you all. The kids need you all. And last thing I'll say about that is also, I think you should do it, especially if you're that parent that's in the stands yelling at referees. Maybe you should actually go out there, become a referee, and see what it's all about. Go take the time to actually learn, support, help, work it, and then educate others.
Thank you, Brother Will. It's I'll piggyback on what you said. It's like the PTA. Those that always say, "Oh, the school's doing this, that," and they won't get involved in the PTA. Won't go to no meetings, none of that. But they got so much to say. Oh, they selling black chocolate candies again. Well, you wasn't there at the other 37 meetings where you could have said something about the black chocolate candies. But I digress. Whatever. Reek, go ahead, sir.
And continuing the note that Will Sane brought up, also parents, be easy,
Reek had
be
to pray.
patient. I mean, being just watching this thing, man. Hey, man.
Reek had to.
Dramatic pause.
You say.
Hey, man, I thought he froze for a minute.
There's a lot on him. It's a lot on him.
Hey, man, it's just watching this thing and being close when you in the field of hearing what the parents say and dealing with what the parents are saying and a lot of the outside noise. get educated on what's going on, man. Even if you don't want to ref, kind of go to a meeting or something so y'all can see what they are seeing. So you can get a better understanding before we jump on a man for doing his job. You know, just be a little easy, have a little grace, and have a little mercy. You know, could you have made a better call? Could you have seen it?
Would you have
But
made the
man, like I
right
said, yeah, absolutely. Could you have made any call?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like you say, these kids are bigger, faster, stronger. And if you don't have a trained eye, you're going to miss something.
Right.
Even if you have a trained eye, you're going to miss something. So, I mean, grace and mercy, man. Grace and mercy. That's it.
There you go. Coach Wells.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to preach like Will and Rique. I'm going to go ahead and drop some nuggets. And coaches, I'm talking to everybody right now. Coaches, there's no reason that you shouldn't understand what a call is being made because the meetings are open for you. Go to the meetings. High school coaches, middle school coaches, go to the meetings. See what the refs are, what they are teaching because there's a rule book. There's a rule book in place. So go to the meetings. If you're out there, yeah, we need more coaches. We need more refs. But what we also need is more mentors, teachers, and leaders. We got to show these kids the right way. We got to show them the right way how to do things. Parents, you're an example for your kids. So if you're at these games wilding out, your kid is going to wild out. Be the example. Don't jump on a ref for making a call. Don't jump on a ref for, they make mistakes. They're human. Just because, someone put on a striped shirt doesn't make them a superhero. Even though they go out there and try because they're doing something that a lot of others won't even do. I mean, it's a tough job. Nothing about reffing or coaching is easy. None of that is easy. It's a lot. Parents jump on the coaches for kids not getting enough playing time or whatever, but it takes everybody, to know and understand the rules when it comes to being a ref. So let's support, not saying, I understand everybody's going to have their, their comments or their say or their complaints or gripes. But if you're just that person always in the stand complaining and griping and not trying to be a part of the solution, then why say anything? So let's just, let's be a part of the solution and not the problem.
Thank you, Coach. I'll have the final word. These guys probably didn't know that I used to ref. I probably could have been on this panel. I absolutely felt what they said, heard what they said. I didn't do it at their level. I only did it at the Y. I did it at 2Ys down here in the South Florida area. And I really enjoyed myself doing it. But as I'll say, it's a thankless job, but it's a rewarding job as well, man. You have to be a special person to do it, be in some shape too, or you'll get in shape, or you won't. Well, hopefully you'll get in shape by doing it. But we also need like the gentleman said, Marcus and Mike, we need some young guns out there, male or female. We don't care. Get involved in refereeing, especially in youth athletic sports, whether it be soccer, baseball, whatever it is. Get involved. Be involved. And if you're a parent, coach, understand. Hear me when I say this. Understand what the referee does. Just don't be yelling and screaming. Be empathetic and have some empathy on what they do. And just remember, what if it was you out there? I wish there was some kind of pilot program. I think Will said it, where, okay, you want to be part of this? You got to go to school, referee a game or something like that. I bet you a whole lot of stuff would stop in the stands. And those that are verbally abusing and physically abusing referees, I'm going to stop right there because I'm just gonna stop right there. But don't do it. Be kind. That's all. Just be kind, man. Just be kind, man. These people.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
You better not see you on no video that pops up.
I got a little carried away. I sorry.
We thank you for. That's why you was praying earlier. See,
They came full circle.
God convicted your heart, brother Rique.
I saw mercy and grace.
Oh shoot, my Yankees are up 6-4, man. Let me get out of here.
I told you it's 9-inning game. Man, I told you, man.
You said it, bro. You said it. You said it, man.
He was ready to call it quits.
Yeah, I did, man. Listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your moderator, for Coach Wells, for Brother Will Sane, and Brother Rique, man. Yo, this is the S.I.M.P podcast, man. Hey, we'll get at y'all next time for some more great, interesting topics, man. Check out the S.I.M.P podcast. Simply, I make plays. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be great. Y'all have a good one. Peace.